This podcast is brought to you by Marcus Rodriguez. If you're looking to buy or sell your home in this competitive market and you're not too sure where to start, look no further than Merced's preferred realtor, Marcus Rodriguez. He'll make sure the process goes as easy as possible, and you can reach him at 209-554-1715. Visit his website, www.myagentmarcus.com, or email him, info@myagentmarcus.com. This episode is brought to you by Thore. If you're in the Central Valley area and you're looking to get a tattoo, look no further than this dude right here. He's a versatile artist that specializes in black and gray realism. He's located in Merced at the Merced Tattoo and Piercing Company, and if you'd like to get in contact with him, either stop by the shop or reach out to him on Instagram. His Instagram is @_Thore with 5 E's. Once again, that's @_Thore with 5 E's. This episode is brought to you by Be Junk Free Merced. Everybody has stuff that's taking up space, but not everybody has the time, energy, and equipment to do something about it. That's where Scott Livesay comes in. If you have stuff that's overtaking your garage, yard, that spare room, or even a storage unit, give Be Junk Free Merced a call. You can reach them at 209-233-1519, and they'll give you an estimate and get back to you as soon as they can. This episode is brought to you by Patriarch One. Patriarch One LLC is a website, email, domain management, and design company. They can create your website from startup, refresh your current website, and even deal with domain transferring. Not only do they build a website for you, but they partner and manage the entire domain for you. They offer promotional gear as well, like business cards, shirts, pens, and anything with your logo on them. If you want to get in contact with them, you can reach them at 408-728-8001. Visit their Instagram, patriarch1.llc, or email them, info@patriarch1.com. This podcast is brought to you by Duffy.murphy. Whether you need studio time, mixing and mastering services, or someone to clean up that podcast audio, he's your guy. And trust me, because he's my guy. You can reach him on Instagram @DuffyMurphy or email him duffy.murphy@yahoo.com. Thanks for tuning in to Real Talk and Whatnot. I'm your host, Micah Daly, and if you're new here, this is a show where I highlight the talented individuals who live within the Central Valley of California, as well as people in general who are passionate about what they do. Now, a lot of times when people think of California, they think of LA, San Francisco, NorCal, but what they don't think about is the Central Valley of California. It makes up a huge part of the state, ranging all the way from Bakersfield pretty much to Sacramento and a little bit above that. So it is a huge section of the state, so that's what this podcast right here is about. Thanks for tuning in, and if you're watching this on YouTube, what I ask is that you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, that you're thumbs upping the videos, and that you're just staying engaged. If you want to help out the show even more, and if you're listening to it, you could go over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and download each episode. That really just helps the show, helps the algorithm, and podcast stats are kind of confusing, so this will just help me get a better understanding of who's listening to it and everything else. So I'd really, really, really appreciate it if you guys could do that. And just thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate any support I can get. If you're out there and you're thinking maybe I want to be a sponsor to this podcast, first off, it's a great thought you have. Secondly, if you're interested at all, reach out to me on my Instagram, Central Valley Podcast, and you can watch all the promos I do. You can just kind of laugh and see like the show from my actual perspective. It used to be my Instagram account, and then I changed it to the podcast Instagram account, and I've just been using it with whatever way I want to, honestly. But let's just jump into today's episode. Today, I'm joined by Lili. Lili is a hairstylist, hairdresser, beautician. There's various names for what she does. You know, I even asked her, and she was like, "Yeah, whatever you want to call me." But she's the owner of Haven Salon, and that's in Merced, California, in the Bear Creek Galleria, I believe that's what it's called. And me and Lili sit down, and we kind of talk about how her own salon came to be, and we sat down and talked about how she used to work at Regis. In the mall, and then how she used to teach courses and would get flying out to, it was like Minnesota or some random state like that. And then we talked about, her slow development into finally making that step and opening up her own salon and what kind of drove her to want to do that. We laughed so much in this podcast. We had such a great conversation, and it truly was a great time. We talked about like her favorite type of client, worst type of client, the services she offers in her salon. And it's not just a salon, it's like a one-stop shop where you can get your hair done, you can get your nails done, you can get a massage, and I think you can get waxed as well. So it's like a one-stop shop. It's a great place. There's tons of great girls and women who work there. And I really can't recommend listening to this podcast enough. Lili is such a great, fun, entertaining girl. And I want to shout out Megan Trindad or MT Photo, you guys might know, for hooking this up. And I told her, hey, I need to get some more like women on the podcast. You have any recommendations? And she said Lili and Ashley Madison, and they're both coming on the podcast. But today's is Lili's. So without any further introduction, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lili, owner of Haven Salon. This is it. Real talk. Whatnot.
Real talk. That's it. Real talk. Real talk. Real talk.
And then it's your birthday week?
Yes.
So you're Sunday. So you're this past Sunday or coming up Sunday?
Coming up, the 10th.
Oh, the 10th. So April 10th. I was March 25th. Are you Aries?
Aries.
I'm Aries too, man. People don't like us. I'm just kidding.
They're haters. I feel like you have to love us.
Yeah, exactly.
They just hate because they're not Aries.
Exactly. No, I agree. I don't even know what being Aries means. So why don't you introduce yourself for people who may not know who you are?
I am Lili Torres, owner of Haven Hair and Beauty, and I am a stylist there as well.
Sweet. And so you opened up a salon, huh?
I did.
When did you do that?
I actually opened, I signed my lease April of 2020, and then shit went south, so.
Yeah. Well, but you're still here today, huh?
Still here today.
So were you already in the works to open it up during 2020?
You know what? I was working in a salon. I was very happy there, renting downtown, and I always did want to open up a salon, but for me, it was just more of finding the right place, if it felt right. And it kind of just fell in my lap. A client told me about a spot. It was already a salon. I just had to go in there and make it look good.
Yeah. No, but that's clutch that it was already it's like you're just making it look good. But at least they have a little exactly. Let me just design it and then we're good. That's cool. And so that was April 2020, and then obviously February 2020. That's when everything went.
Yeah, so we were still open, and then we thought, 2 weeks shut down, and then we'll be back in action. But
then 3
we all
weeks,
know
then 4
how
weeks, then
that
5
went
weeks.
down.
Yeah. But you opened it 2 months after.
Yeah, so it was 2 months after. So during the time, we thought that it was just going to be the 2 weeks.
Oh, you just thought it was going to brush over.
Yeah. So for my husband and I, because we're both in this industry.
Yeah. So he's a barber.
He's a barber.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
he has his shop. So him and I, we never really have that time. Just downtime, no clients, no one can be.
I'm almost wishing right now that I could have some downtime, dude. I was like,
looking back, shutdown wasn't too bad. It was kind of nice.
Yeah. It just slowed everything down for a little bit, which was nice because now that I was always I'm a photographer, videographer. I do the podcast, and then I used to be a substitute teacher, but the past 3-4 months have been so busy that I couldn't even sub anymore.
Yeah.
And it's a great thing now that I think about it. You know what I mean? But I also did high school. But that's funny. Also, I got by me, I'm saying my wife. She got you some flowers. We got you some flowers for your birthday. You can set it down. Yeah, but
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and then also
my beautiful iced tea.
Yes, there is. It's hiding it. There we go. Yeah. You're just sipping on a 40 or something behind it. Also, congratulations! I got sparkling cider. Yes. And I even got flutes, bro.
No alcohol for me.
Yeah, exactly. So when did you find out?
Pregnant?
Yeah. Pregnant? Yeah.
Yeah, pregnant. Actually, I had no idea. It was January. We're 49ers fans, so we were out and about having a good time
at that time.
Yeah, and thank God my husband was just the one who was like, dude, I think you're pregnant. And I'm like, what? And I took a test, and there it was.
Really?
Yeah.
That's probably the story of my parents finding out that they were having me. Honestly, I was just surprised.
Yeah.
They were like, oh wow, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of cool though, because trying or people try, it's a lot of pressure, and
And you already have one?
I already have one.
Okay, gotcha.
He's 2. He'll be 3 in June.
No, he needs a little brother or sister, whatever.
Yeah, he needs.
You don't know yet? Is it still too early to tell?
What I'm having?
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna find out on my birthday on the 10th.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's real cool.
They took out some blood from my arm today.
Is that how they do it now?
Well, I paid because I want to find out.
Is that quick?
It's quicker.
Quicker?
And it's 99.9% accurate.
Is it wait, so do they take it out of you and they can tell
I
the
know.
sex
My
of
mom
your
was
baby?
like, "You better not be taking blood out of the baby."
Yeah. Well, yeah. But how? I wonder what the process is like.
They take it from my arm, just like a regular blood draw. And I asked her today. I was like, "So how do you know what I'm having?" And I guess they look for the Y chromosome. So I'm a woman, I wouldn't have it.
Oh, so
and
if you
other
happen
girl wouldn't have it.
Oh,
If
so
it shows up,
but it shows up then it's a guy.
it's a boy. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Or something like that. I don't know. Something.
Yeah,
It's Y chromosome.
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I also don't know. No, you're
Yeah.
good. And so, I'm trying to think. So when did you start? So what is it called? It's called like, are you a hairstylist or you a hairdresser or is it everything? You know, is you know what I mean?
I mean, I guess
as a guy, I'm gonna ask you a lot of guy questions.
I
just
know.
so you know.
No, I know. I was like, I don't know if he knows what to ask a beauty professional.
Whenever I like, so let's say like I'm looking up something online, it'll be like, I'll be like, okay, like hairdresser, like interview questions, and then it's like, how long have you been? It's like as if you're like gonna hire somebody on, and I'm like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm just asking like general questions.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, so I guess like technical term, I'm a cosmetologist. That's what I'm licensed as.
Gotcha.
So I can do like other stuff within the industry besides just hair. I know things just changed recently, so now you can literally be like just a licensed hairstylist, licensed barber.
Oh, really?
Yeah, more specific, like to your title, which is cool. But I went to school. I've been licensed for, oh my gosh, when did I go to school? I think I went to school in 2011. So
Did you graduate when?
I graduated high school 2010.
Okay, I graduated 2011. So
Okay.
basically, wait, are you turning?
No, so then that means 2012 is when I got my license because I went to college for a year.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, did Merced college for a year, then that took a year. So 2012
2012.
licensed.
That's when you got it, and so you got like what is it, like a cosmetology degree, right?
Yes.
And then you always did hair from then on, or did you try to do other little things as well?
Yeah, I always did hair. So I kind of just started out in my backyard because I feel like Merced wasn't offering like any.
I mean, that's how like a lot of, I feel like a lot of people who do kind of like trade schools that are personal services. It's like you kind of need to build up.
Yeah.
You don't want to like get a space and then you're like, well, I don't have any clients
It's
though.
scary.
Yeah.
It's super scary. So I actually ended up starting at Regis in the mall because it was too scary for me to like just jump out and run a station.
Yeah.
So I was
you
actually
build your confidence and everything too.
and they offer education, all that. So I was there for like 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did kind of venture off and start becoming an educator with them. So with that, I was kind of traveling around and teaching
the
in other
classes,
salons.
kind of?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So I would go to like other Regis salons in other states and teach there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was
So where
it
did you
was
go?
cool.
Like,
mainly Minnesota.
oh, really? They
Yeah.
just had like a big.
Minnesota's like a huge like they have a lot of Regis, like those type of salons out there. They're not so like
Independently owned.
aggressive,
Yeah.
like how California
Yeah,
is. Like
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of us want to work for ourselves.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Have
exactly.
your own space.
There's just people who are going to work for a company that's already got it together.
Yeah, and
everything.
they're just smaller cities out there, just little towns. So a lot of people.
And that
start
makes
there.
sense. Yeah, that does
Yeah.
make sense. And then so there's a whole. Is there just like endless classes you can kind of take to up your game? You know what I
For
mean? Because I feel
sure.
like that industry is kind of different than, and same thing with photography and videography or like any type of trade type school. You know, it
Yeah.
feels a little different than. Because you can be self-taught. I mean, for you had to get a certificate and everything, right?
Yeah.
To
I mean, so you graduate, but you don't really know how to do hair.
Yeah.
Like, you just got to know how to be clean.
It's
and-
just, yeah, exactly. And that's like photography too. It's like I never got a degree in this, but I just
yeah, you just learned.
dedicated. Yeah,
You
just
got it.
You dedicate your time to
Yeah.
it, and then you figure things out, especially if you want to do it.
Yeah, anything like creative, like what you're doing, what I'm doing. I think if you have it in you and you have the drive to really like go after it and push
Yeah.
yourself, then you'll be successful.
Hey, and you have to throw yourself. And I always tell people you have to throw yourself in uncomfortable situations because like that's what's
sure.
gonna show you.
Like today, hence
yeah,
here.
you're here. Boom.
I'm sweating,
in a
but I'm here.
podcast. You're like.
I'm never on the end of like being asked questions.
Yeah.
I'm always like
Because you're
the one listening.
Yeah, you're the one listening all the time,
All the
right? So do you have like
time.
clients? Clients are just. I mean, it's probably do they vent to you? You know what I mean? Or
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean? And then
I hear some stuff.
Yeah, I would say yeah, just by like being, you know, what I mean? Just by you're like this is my job.
I hate a lot of guys I've never met,
Yeah.
because of all the crap that I hear. Yeah.
You're like actually, I didn't even want to come on your
like, I
podcast,
actually really
dude.
hate him. Then she gets back with him. And I'm like, what?
and then you're like, oh, what am I supposed to do with this information?
Yeah,
now?
I know, like,
you're like
damn it,
now
I
I'm
have to
judging this
forget-
guy, but you're with him, and now I'm like I don't know what to do.
Now you're pregnant and I have to be happy for you guys,
The story of Merced, man.
Yeah.
That's how. Is there like a favorite type of client, least favorite type of client?
You know,
'cause I mean,
yeah.
Yeah,
Without,
exactly.
you know,
Yeah, well,
quite honestly,
you've been in it
yes.
so long, you got to build your clientele to people that you like. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So I'm sure, like, did you have any like client horror stories or anything?
Oh, I have a lot. I've cried many, many times.
Really?
Yeah,
Fuck those
Yeah, I
people.
know. It's pretty fucked up, man. I mean, like we put our all into what you do. You know, same with you. What you're doing,
Yeah.
you love doing it.
Mhm.
So if someone comes and like shits on you for like what you just put your heart on
Yeah.
into, it hurts.
And like
you know?
I can always understand. Like some people are really bad at constructive criticism, and it always stings in the beginning. And
Yeah.
it's like I'm cool with constructive criticism because it's like that affects me in a different way. But it's like it's not where like I feel bad about myself and I'm pissed off at somebody else right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
just like,
hard.
oh, I should do better. You know what I mean?
And then, you know, you're like the service provider, so it's like you got to bite your tongue a lot. I just think that at the end of the day, it's just how people say it.
Yeah.
That's what's tough.
Yeah, you could say something. You could really honestly say something mean, and you could say it in a good, like not in a good way, but in a way that like won't be as harsh of a blow versus
Right.
like just being blunt and being like, "This is what you did," or like, you know what I mean?
Yes,
Something like that.
Oh man, I've had some stories, man.
What's the
Do
one?
we wanna
What's the
open it
one
up?
that sticks
Opening
out?
up these old wounds.
But now isn't it cool because you can laugh about it now? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
You know, I haven't taken new clients for like 4 years.
Really?
I've been able to like build myself up and my clientele up to not have to.
That's cool.
So right now I'm pretty lucky that I don't have to
Yeah,
deal
that's
with,
really cool.
with that stuff anymore, but I definitely put in my time.
Yeah.
I remember I've had money like just thrown at me, like $1 bill. This lady was just so pissed and she was mad and it wasn't even my fault. Okay, whatever. I was very tired. She said, go ahead and like, you know, go eat your food, whatever. And so one of my coworkers went and washed her hair for her
Yeah.
and she got her back all wet, which, you know, like you're getting your hair washed, like
It's also
it's not we don't ever want to wet you, but it happens, you know?
Yeah. It's whatever.
And she was pissed.
It's like not that big of a deal.
Oh,
like,
but she was pissed. She threw $1 at me and said that was all I deserved. Just threw it. And this is
You're like,
a
I didn't even wash your hair. I don't deserve this, okay?
I don't like hit this mic. Yeah, no, I cried a lot that day. That was not cool. But
Dang.
yeah, she's gone. Who knows where she's at.
Exactly.
Hope all is well with her.
That's funny. And then, well, because I imagine like you get always like people talking to you that you could like write like a freaking novel of like different stuff that you could say. You can call it, or you can start a podcast. You call it shop. Well, I'm just gonna base it off of my podcast, but shop talk and whatnot. Like there we go.
All right, I'll give you your 10%
There we go.
commission.
There we go.
For my new show.
There we go. Producing it and everything.
No, I have to sign I sign non-official NDAs. I'll never repeat. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was like, do you have to do that? I was like, I should do that. People like, I was like, we're off air. I was like, we're not. I'm just
No,
kidding.
but I really try not to repeat it because, you know, Merced's too small.
Yeah, it's too small.
They're
and you
gonna know who you're talking about.
And then you don't want to get out, and then it just becomes something that's
A mess.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And so when you first graduated, you start doing stuff at your house. Then you get a job at Regis. You start teaching stuff like that. Straight from Regis, did you go to open up your own salon?
Yeah,
Or-
so a lot of changes happened like within that time. A lot of like the girls that had been there with me for a long time, they left and they decided to go rent. I did the teaching thing. It really wasn't for me, especially at the time. It was like a lot of time away from home. It was a lot more of like the paperwork side, and I don't like that. I like just getting my hands dirty and actually doing the hair.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to like sit there and like do like a color theory class
Yeah,
with people all day.
yeah.
It's just
Like, and
maybe one day. But
it might have been cool, like when you're learning, because you're gonna learn. You're embedding it in your brain. You're
Yes.
remembering it and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
after so long, you're like, I know this pretty well. I don't need to keep on like grading
Going-
papers
yeah,
or whatever it is.
yeah, it just wasn't for me, which I loved the experience. And then I came back and then
So did you move out to Minnesota? Or
no,
did you just fly out
so-
there?
Yeah, I would fly out on Mondays.
Uh-huh.
I would fly home Saturdays. No. I'd fly out Tuesdays,
Uh-huh.
come home Saturdays, and then Sunday was technically like my day off. And then I would go to the salon here Mondays and then fly back out Tuesday. Yeah, it was a
How
lot.
long did you do that?
I did that for like a couple months. Yeah, it was like the whole
Jeez.
process, like within me being trained
Was
and
it-
then
was
me
it-
going, it was like 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
I burnt out. It was a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say that just seems, especially if you're trying to like on Monday. And that's what I realized because before, like I was always like on the substituting schedule where it's like Monday through Friday, you get Saturday, Sunday off.
Yeah.
And now that I'm doing photography, videography, or like our professions, it's like Saturdays are the days that people have off. You know what I mean? Or have off to come do things that our profession provides, you know what I mean? So it's like always having to realize, and I was like, and I mean, I still don't know what days I have off and what days I don't have off, you know what I mean? It's just like, my Sundays generally are pretty off unless it's like something, but like Saturdays are now always booked because of weddings.
Yeah, but you're doing something that like you love.
No, exactly.
So it doesn't feel so bad. So for me, doing that, like going from like doing what I love every day and then going out there and it feeling more like a job.
What jobs did you have like before? Because I work at Starbucks forever. Starbucks and then a restaurant in Modesto. And so
I've always worked. I worked since I was like 15. I worked at Zoomies.
Oh, Zoomies.
Yeah, Zoomies was cool. I worked there, and then I worked at McDonald's. Actually, McDonald's came first. Then I was like, F this place. They were paying me $6 an hour.
Isn't it crazy?
People were so shitty there.
Dude, isn't it crazy that when we were in high school, minimum wage was like $6?
But they paid me $6 because I was a minor.
Because you're a minor?
Yes. Like, how
Come
is that
on,
locked?
McDonald's.
Like, what? And then they threw me out there because I'm bilingual. So then they were like, put you on drive-through. And I'm like, for $6 an hour, I'm dealing with
Yeah, you're dealing with all this bullshit.
Yeah, so my friends would be like, let's go to the water park. And I'd be like, fuck it, I'm out.
Dude,
so
yeah, that's like same thing. When I worked at Starbucks, it'd be like, just go ahead, call in. We're like, they'd like tell the shift before. I'm just letting you know I'm going to call in. So if you want to try to get this situated before, like
heads up. But
Starbucks was like the fast. It's like the fast food place that like pays. It's like Starbucks In-N-Out. You know what I mean?
Starbucks is like top tier, and In-N-Out is In-N-Out and Chick-fil-A.
In-N-Out and Chick-fil-A I think are better than Starbucks because Starbucks is like will offer you all these medical benefits to pay and everything, but at the same time it's like I worked there from like when I was 18 to like 26, and it was like I basically only got raises as minimum wage went up. Like I was like it was like I got all my raises and then minimum wage went up and I was getting paid like 10 cents more than whoever was just getting hired or whatever. And so but they paid for my school that I'm not using, but it's cool. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, you got something out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
More than McDonald's. And McDonald's is like making like their type of money. I just I have my feelings towards them.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Speaking of, you go there, your kid like Happy Meals or what?
Yes. Every day a Happy Meal. It's I hate it.
Oh, that's so funny.
But yeah, there's Zoomies and then Applebee's. I was a waitress for
did you work with Jimmy there?
Yeah, that's
Kayam?
I don't know Jimmy from there. I knew Jimmy's brother like in high school.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Because you're a little bit older than him.
So Jordan's my age.
Yeah.
So grew up with them. Yeah, and then worked with Jimmy.
Do you work with Kayam? You know who Kayam is?
I think he came like
towards the end of it. Yeah. No worries. That's me, Jimmy,
but like,
Kayam.
We were all still like friends, so I knew of him. Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That was after my time. I was.
Out of there. You got out of there early, man.
Yeah. It was cool when I worked there.
No, honestly,
it was like
there's phases of like different like even at Starbucks too. It was like. You'd have like phases where you're like, oh, like I love coming to work. Like when everyone vibes and it's cool with everybody, it just like you don't mind it. Like it makes you working wherever you're working okay. But like I imagine the morale at McDonald's wasn't too high. You know, you're not coming.
You know what? Like I will say, my manager and a few of my coworkers were hella cool. But
it's crazy when people are not crazy, but when people are like
and
happy and
they
like
loved McDonald's,
weird situations,
they
it's
like went hard. Like when they had to fire me, they were like, "We're sorry, we have to do this," and I was like, "Dude, it's okay. Like
I
I'm
understand.
15, I'll move on. Like it's okay." But,
at least you got your first blow early.
Good for them. You know, they loved it.
Why did they fire you? Because you called in or what?
No showed. Like twice.
No show. Hey, yeah, and it's also they're like weekend. But it's funny because nowadays I feel like my mind just goes everywhere. But now, I was thinking about this. Nowadays, like I think that they didn't really hire. I mean, I guess they hired you and when you were in high school, but. When I was in high school, I always remember like one or two, like a couple kids had jobs, but not that many.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nowadays, like a lot of kids have jobs in high school, and I think
wants to work these jobs.
Exactly. I was gonna say that's why though.
All they have is the high schoolers to hire.
No, exactly. That was my whole point.
Yeah. Sorry, cut into there. But
No.
That's the punchline. But yeah.
No, exactly,
sure.
exactly. And so we're going back to the beauty salon now.
Okay.
But so, what's the biggest difference you think from renting? So. So after Regis, did you rent a space somewhere?
I did. Yeah, I
Okay.
rented here on Main Street, Stilettos and Spurs.
Okay, gotcha. So you rented there for what, a year?
I think I want to say it was 3 years.
3 years over there, and then you're like, what really kind of like inspired you to kind of want to open up your own place?
Well, like I said, it was just kind of always like a dream. And then, one of my clients just let me know. So a long time ago, a lot of people would always tell me, you need to open up your own. You need to open up your own. And I'd be like, just like take the right spot. And then I'd mentioned actually the location where I'm at now. And I was like, to me, like that's like
you got to be in a good
nice.
location.
Yeah, like that location's like a cool location. The shopping center is super nice. And I would assume it's not as like expensive as like, going Yosemite.
Yeah.
Which we're pretty close to that price, but I mean.
Yeah. Well, it's nice though. It is nice though. You know what I mean? And your location is a little more centrally located.
It is.
A little closer to downtown.
Better parking downtown for sure.
Or even the Yosemite area, like some of those places.
The Promenade? I just went there this morning.
Dude,
it's
the Promenades.
horrible.
When I worked, so I used to work at that Starbucks. When I worked there, like it was like. I mean, it was okay because it was before it was even getting big. And then, like, when I was leaving there, it was like we'd come to work and, like, they'd force us to park, like, in the very, very, like, corner of the back.
Yeah,
and stuff.
but
it's
really,
not my fault. What were you? Also, there's that park. There's an empty field across the street. I'm sorry, Promenade people. I know you make enough money to buy that.
I've heard this lady owns that.
She's probably holding out.
Yeah, she's holding out.
I would too. Never mind. Yeah, the Promenade's probably like we've been throwing money at her.
How much money? Like, come on. I think that they like proposed like to build a park there and parking, and she said no.
That would be a good location. I think Merced needs more parks. Like downtown, they should put like there's some empty lots. They should put a park there, a dog park, anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a dog park. We only have one, right?
Yeah, I think right. Yeah, just that one. Yeah. Just put something.
It looks pretty. It's like somewhere.
Add some character to the city and everything else, and then it's like, oh, you can go downtown with your kid or with your dog, hang out, then walk down. You know what I mean? It gives you a little more to do versus like. I'm going to this store or whatever.
Yeah,
but hey, downtown's great right now.
Hopefully they listen to this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
the park next to the Promenade.
The mayor came on. We'll see if he listens. I don't know.
Oh, the mayor's cool. Yeah, I think he listens. I think he cares.
He's real cool. He's a real cool dude. I was happy that he said yes to it. I was like, and since I started the podcast in the very beginning, it was like episode 2, and we're like, we gotta get the mayor on the podcast. You know what I mean? And then like it was always just like that was our dream. Like that was the goal was get the mayor on the podcast.
Well,
and then
I'm not the dream. You want to interview a hairstylist?
No, and it's always like I have to like remind because I just naturally talk to more guys, and so I'm like, I gotta get like I need girls on the podcast, like you know what I mean. And every time I have a good conversation too, it's just like I don't know, like being married, like I just don't have that many girls that are friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wife's like, hell no.
Yeah, exactly. And so, are you married?
I am. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And so you both. So, when did you guys meet?
We met in high school.
Oh, high school sweethearts, huh? And then who started the
romance?
The romance, yeah.
I don't know. We were just like homies. We were just friends, and then it just
was there a Sadie's or something, you know?
Well, he was out of high school. He went to my Sadie's, yeah. So he's like 2 years older than me. So I was still.
Are you turning?
30.
30. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, yeah. You're turning
he's 32. 30. So yeah.
You're like, I'm having a whole fucking week for my birthday.
Yeah,
you guys.
This is like the first gift, though.
There we go. Boom.
Yeah.
Thank me and my wife Lindsay.
Yes, thank you guys.
She got her hair done for our wedding by Mel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was in November. Yeah. November 20th.
Love Mel. Yeah. She's best.
And so how do people like come to work at
my salon?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so when I got the spot, I only reached out to like my best hair friend. Let her know like right away, and I was just like, "Hey, like I'm doing this," and she's like, "Well, I'm coming." She didn't even know where it was at.
Yeah.
That's Missy. So Missy was like a ride or die. She's like, "Well, I'm in," and then after that, it just kind of all like fell together. Regis, basically all of us used to work there. Almost everyone who works with me. We all worked together in the past. So, like, we all already knew each other for a very long... In the mall.
Just in the mall? It's
yeah,
the one...
by JCPenney. Like, not in JCPenney's, but, like, right outside.
Oh, but I would think it's JCPenney's, right?
Yeah.
It's the one that's right there?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's like right out, so now it sees Candy. It's, like, completely not in the mall at all.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Right
gone.
there. Okay.
Yeah.
How long ago was it? Because See's Candy's been there for a while, right?
Yeah, so right when they closed.
When was
that's
that?
kind of when was that?
So, you were at your other salon
I-
for 3 years. So
Somewhere within there. It was like
2015,
within me
2016,
still
something
being
like that?
down. It was within me still being down there, but close enough to when I opened my salon that a few of the girls only went somewhere else for a little bit and then
they came. Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, so
That's
it's
really
like
cool. And you had already
cool
worked
timing.
with them, and perfect timing
Yes.
for
Oh my gosh,
perfect,
yes.
bad, good timing with everything. Huh? You know what I
Yes.
mean? It's just like, but it's all good now, right?
Right. Yeah, it's all good. So yeah, they all just came and then I just Instagram put it out there and that's where I got Mel and Brooke started with me. Never even met either of them. I didn't even know that they were actually best friends.
Oh, really? So you
yeah.
hired them? You hired them
And they didn't
independent?
even know that each other was gonna come. Like I guess they like went to go hang out after, and they're like, I did a thing, and then they're both coming to work with me.
Did they work together before that?
No.
Oh, so they worked.
So
worked
Mel was in
separately?
LA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
She was
Mel
coming
in LA,
back?
Came home with all this going on.
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Pandemic,
exactly.
Came home. So she was just like ready to take the jump and just do it. And then Brooke, she had worked in salons and then she was in a restaurant. And then, restaurants kind of went down too. So
Yeah, dude.
she came, yeah.
Restaurants. Yeah, it's crazy to me to think that because it's like, I mean, I still go out to eat, but I feel like the pandemic like hindered me from as much as I used to go out. And also maybe it's just
Yeah.
that we're getting older. Like, you know what I
I
mean?
think, yeah,
We're just
mature
like,
girl.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, going out drinking doesn't sound fun, actually.
We'll be like at a restaurant and we'll be like, gosh, there's like a lot of kids in here. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
we were those kids.
old.
Yeah.
I'm like, are they young or are we old? And then we were like, shit, I don't know.
No, exactly. That's really funny. And so, sorry, I think I've been all over the place with
Yeah,
this
it's cool.
conversation. But so then you were there for 3 years, and then we're talking about what really made you want to open it up.
Yeah.
And then, so what's the difference, like from renting a space to owning your own place? That rhymed unintentionally.
Yeah.
What are the biggest differences between
Well,
those?
like Regis was hourly pay. So,
Okay.
when I started, there was
So-
commission. So it was like you'd work up. You'd get like 40, 60. They would get 60%. You'd get 40.
Oh, okay.
But the cool part is you don't have to provide anything.
They provide all.
they
They buy you
provide
stuff.
everything,
Oh, okay,
all
so
your
I was
color.
wondering, like, they must have done something to make
Yeah,
it a
for
little
sure.
more worth it.
And it really is good. Like for just starting out, especially. And plus, the mall brings a lot of walk-ins. So that's when I started there. And then when I left there, I just paid like my rent just for my station, and I provide all my own stuff. But any money that I make is my money.
All yours.
Yeah. So none of my money went to the owner. It just went to me, except for
The
my rent.
renting, yeah.
Yeah. That was a difference with that, and then now with
Basically, you make money, right? From like everyone pays, like obviously you're not paying
Yeah.
rent. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well,
Or-
I mean, at one point I was. So
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. During the
yeah.
pandemic and early on.
Well, yeah.
You're
so
like,
about like 2-3 months, it was just me paying rent and building the salon.
Yeah.
And then when I started off, I really wasn't like profiting, to be honest. It was kind of just like a break even.
Well, it was
moment.
pretty. I mean, everybody was still scared to go out of their houses at that
Yeah.
point. So it was like, it was like, yeah, it was cool that you're doing that, but you're like, man, I've never been slower, never been, you know what I mean?
And I was kind of like, what did I even do? Because I'm like breaking
kinda regret,
even, and
yeah.
I'm doing a lot of work.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
cleaning this whole salon. I'm like
Uh-huh.
making sure everything's
Yeah,
good.
because it's like you don't. Yeah, now you are responsible for all the little
Insurances and
things,
bills.
the little
Yeah.
things that you would never had to think about.
Oh,
huh?
never. Yeah, I didn't have to think about, PG&E was this much this month, and then it's going up and down, and
And how do I
Close
get
the
a price that's in the
door.
middle? That's that. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Hey, can you close
So-
the door now?
yeah, close the door.
All these things becoming, especially
It's like
in
when
the
you
summer,
move out of your
dude.
mom's
Yeah,
house, and you're
yeah.
like, oh my god, I have to buy toilet paper and
yeah,
like
yeah,
all these things that you don't really think about because you just get them.
yeah, exactly.
So definitely like renting, I would say is like probably like the best position as a stylist because you just like pay your rent and just like do your own thing. You don't have to worry about
Yeah, you
anything else.
pay your rent. You're independent enough, so you're just paying your rent,
Yeah.
getting your own supplies, your own clients, everything
Yeah,
else.
just do your thing.
Yeah,
Show up when
but-
you want. And that's it.
And then, but then now that then when you become the owner of the shop, you have to do all the other stuff. But I'm sure there's some
Oh, there's
balance,
there's,
you know what I
there's
mean?
some benefits
Yeah,
now.
yeah. now that
I mean,
business is booming. Huh?
Yeah. It's gonna be up and down always. I've just like come to realize that. But yeah, right now it's good.
Well, but yeah, and so how many hairdressers are in there?
Oh my
or
gosh.
what
Well,
services do you guys offer? Do you guys
okay,
offer multiple things?
we do a lot.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't know
So
this.
starting off, I had just one spot in the building, and then there was always a vacant spot next door. And like I said, I was kind of just like breaking even because I kind of was maxed out. I ended up during pandemic.
like something became available to rent?
It was always empty. So yeah, it was always empty when I got there. And then I don't know, I just kind of like threw it out there to the owner and I was like, could they be connected? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, could I do this? Yeah. I'm like, can I? And he'd just be like, yeah, if you wanted to.
How big is that one? Is it the same size?
It's about the same. Yeah.
So you just doubled your size?
Yeah. So they're both about like 1,800 square feet. So I'm almost at like four.
Is it one rent or is it two rent?
Now it is.
Now it's one rent since you made a doorway and everything.
Yeah, new contract.
And if he wants to ever, he can probably, you know what I mean? Like if you ever move to somewhere else.
I feel like that building had to have been opened before because I could see like previous like
doorways and
openings and patches.
This place just has like when you walk in, it has like a doorway and there's just a piece of plywood on it. like you could totally see. And then when we first moved in here, it was 70s green carpet everywhere, even underneath the toilet. Like the whole bathroom was all
nasty.
And then when we ripped it up, there was two door frames underneath where the brick was. So this whole entire building used to be connected, and now it's like 3 separate buildings. So it's probably something like that. Yeah.
There's like a bunch inside of the Galleria where I'm at that you can tell have been like configured differently. Like, let me steal a little bit of this space. And then
That's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
And so what services you offer?
Okay, services. So I have 7, 8, 9, 11 hairstylists. So we do all hair services.
Is that in one side? Or no?
So I have 7 hairstylists on the original side, and since it was pandemic, I did everything 6 feet apart and like super spaced out, all that, you know, all that business. So that kind of like maxed out my space.
But at least now it's not like crowded.
No, it's really nice. Yeah, so it's like real open when you walk in. And then I had a back room where I had an esthetician previously,
What's
and it
that?
was just
Sorry.
So that's like waxing, facials.
Okay.
Lashes.
No, this is the guy question. You're like, I'm asking for the guys. The guys are like, they've heard their girls say this, but they have no idea.
Yeah,
what's
so
it called?
your
Esthetician?
girl goes to an esthetician to get her waxes.
Okay, gotcha. And like it's like skin stuff?
Skincare, yeah.
Isn't that called something else? Or people who, or no?
Like.
No. I mean, like, isn't there something, I don't know, but something that like if you like take care of people's skin and stuff like that, is there like another name for, I don't know.
I feel like there is, but I can't think of it right now.
It's okay. So there's esthetician in the back and
dermatologist.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
exactly.
Like a doctor. Exactly.
Yeah.
See, but
so
my mind, I was like, my mind's the same thing. Yeah, I go to dermatologist. My wife goes to dermatologist to get waxed. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So I had an esthetician, and then when I expanded, I learned like from that situation of having her, the room was just too small. It just wasn't equipped for what she needed. Okay, gotcha. So I built 2 rooms on our new side.
In the other side, okay.
So in there I have another esthetician, dermatologist.
Another doctor's in the back room.
I have a doctor next door, and I have a massage therapist next door.
Oh, really?
To that.
Massage is it? I mean,
dude.
You got me a massage. Dude, I was like...
She's so good.
Really?
So good.
That's cool.
So that's Brenda. So we have her, and then I have 2 nail.
Oh, nail tags.
You know what nail tags are?
Yeah. I got that one. That was a little more basic. It doesn't have, it's not anything hidden in the name. No, so and 2 nail tags. So basically you can come there, get your nails done, get a massage, get waxed, and get your hair done.
Yeah.
All at the same place.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's, so what's the longest you ever worked on someone's hair? Like, cause sometimes, like, you know, girls go to the salon. Girls go to the salon, and you're like, oh, they should be done.
It's
like 6 hours later.
It's super unpredictable. Like,
but can you plan out like, okay, this person's gonna be at a different stage, so I can, work
double
on this
book.
person.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing that we do. Like, I need like 45 minutes to put on her color, and she'll be chilling for an hour, so I can get the next person in for 45 minutes, and then do that. That's how you can really maximize like your time.
Yeah, exactly.
With COVID, we had to stop doing that because we had to just do one at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
So that kind of also hit our pockets
a lot.
We're
back to normal now?
Yeah, we're pretty much back to normal. So like for me personally right now, about 2.5 hours each person. 2.5? But that's just because I don't take anyone new, so I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then
you already know what to expect.
I'm pretty fast. Like,
well, you've done it for so long.
Yeah.
So now, so when people are you put foil on people's hair, that's for bleach. What do you guys call that?
We're
something?
Making little burritos.
Yeah. You guys call that anything? Like, is it
so the foil is basically the reason for it is to separate, the different hairs.
So you're doing
highlights,
certain sections and stuff like that.
Yeah, so that way if I'm, putting it in a foil, it's not touching, if you wanted to still have some dark or whatever it is that you're doing. So, and also they help hold in the heat. So that's why it's
And
foil.
so, and with the bleach, right, is like naturally it's making like heat or no?
The bleach does.
Yeah, right?
And with
So
the heat from the scalp,
I
it
bleached
gets
my
hotter.
hair during the pandemic, just freaking blonde. It was and we did it like once, and it was like just orange. But then we just did it right afterwards.
Oh my
and
God, your scalp was probably so raw.
It was so fucking. I never I was like it was just like red.
Yeah.
It was it was so bad. and then it was just like scabbed over, and I never like felt like a scab on my scalp before. I was like, what the hell is
Chemical
this?
burns.
Yeah. And so I'm like, oh, it makes sense why people have to go to school for this. I was thinking that.
Yeah.
like during it, I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like now that I understand. Okay,
Yeah.
but so you're putting foil on people's hair, and then what is the thing? Do people still use the thing that you sit in and it just dries?
The dryer.
Yeah.
Well,
Is that
yes and no,
gone
but
out?
it's kind of because the lighteners that we use, like the bleach
Uh-huh.
powders, they're way more like advanced now, and they work really freaking fast. So like the one that I use specifically, you cannot mix heat with it. It's like against manufacturers' like instructions.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
It doesn't. It has built-in properties. That
yeah,
do
it doesn't
itself.
need it. You're gonna fry the hair,
Uh-huh.
and also there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But basically,
Yeah.
like lightener expands. So I'm sure when you put the bleach on it, it was like liquidy and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
it kind of like foams.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
expands.
exactly.
Yeah, so that's the heat too. The heat causing that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's
I know. I know. There's
the whole
a.
thing.
I know it's a whole process.
Yeah.
There's a whole thing. I've just never sat down with somebody and asked them.
actually
Yeah,
asked,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And so I'm trying to think what else. I don't know, man. I'm just thinking about bleaching people's hair. But okay, so I'm all over the place. So when you got into what do I call it? Like industry, being a hairstylist, hairdresser.
Into the industry, I guess. Say the industry.
Industry. Yeah, we're both in different industries. But when you got in there, like, and we're talking about like how things have progressed. You know what I mean? Is it kind of cool to see? Because I feel like both of us, like you get into stuff early enough, and you can kind of see the transformation of stuff. So whether it's like camera gear or like I got a tattoo recently. I got a martini glass right here from my grandma, but then I got a 209 tatted on my chest as well.
Yes, represent.
Exactly. But now with tattoos, it's like when I first used to get them, they were like, a machine that was connected to something and has hoses, and now it's just like
Wireless.
a pen. Yeah, it's like you know what I mean? And I was like, oh, it's so cool. But like, what things have you seen besides like, like?
Oh man,
like-
I mean, well, the dryers are like
Yeah.
Dryers are like extinct now. Clippers too. Clippers used to be on cords. They're cordless.
Oh yeah.
I don't do a lot of men's hair, but
Yeah.
just a lot. And then like there's just a lot more like technology as far as like keeping the hair really healthy now. Like a lot of chemists I feel like have gotten more
Oh, that makes
into
sense.
like
Yeah.
partnering up with hairstylists and like actually like getting down to like what's breaking down the hair.
Yeah,
what's gonna build it back.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
exactly.
that's been
you see
like
the hair
really cool.
commercials where it's like like a cracked piece of hair, and then
Yes,
it'll be like zoom.
literally.
Yeah.
I use this like new product, and it literally like that's how they describe it. They just say like you're putting this spray in and it's filling in the gaps. Like gaps are just like things that like you see in the picture, it's all broken. It's just gonna fill all that in and make it strong.
It's kind of like
smooth
that
again.
that stuff that it's like if you have a scratch on your car and it's like you can rub this on
Yeah,
and it'll fill it in. You know what I
exactly,
mean?
yeah.
It's kind of similar
So
to
everything's connected at the end of the day, huh? All kind of the
that.
same.
Everything
Yeah.
is. That's funny. And then so why the name Haven?
Well, Haven, so I don't really like have that much of a like cool story behind it. I just I just sat there and like I was on Google and I was like, okay, like I want a name. I don't want it to be like Lili Salon.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't want it to feel like it's just mine.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to feel like
You
everyone.
want to welcome.
Yeah, and
everything
kind of like the
that.
salon that I was at before. Like the name, it I don't know. I just wanted something just more like professional, just like the name. You
Yeah.
know, like what it is.
Mhm.
And so,
What did you like? Make a list.
I
of names?
debated, yeah,
Like
I was
like
down to
for your
two.
kids, for like your kids' names.
Yeah,
I'm sure you have a
usually
list
my
of
kids,
them.
My kids' names
Yeah,
are like
but did you do a
this.
similar thing where you're like,
I
oh,
did.
what list do I have?
I did. I got like down to 2, and then it literally just came down to like writing it out and like what's gonna look cooler, like written out. What's gonna look cooler, like on a sign.
This in cursive. What does this look like in cursive?
Yeah,
What does
what
this
can
look
I
like
do with the
bold or
letters?
whatever? Yeah.
And I liked it ending with an N. Like, so yeah, Haven is basically a meaning for like a safe place, feeling somewhere that you feel safe.
Yeah.
And I love that because I like to know that like a client is like feeling safe. You know, like they're coming in, they know they're in good hands.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good reason.
Yeah. So when it
that's a
came down to it, I was
reason.
like, I feel like, and yeah, it just feels like, you know, you could talk about like earlier, you could talk about whatever you want to talk about, good music. It just kind of sounds heavenly. And like my whole aesthetic
I was gonna
is
say,
like,
it sounds like heaven, you know, Haven, isn't it? It's just without the... It's just without the E, right?
Yeah.
Or like it's like when I used to substitute Nevea, super popular name. It's just heaven backwards.
Yeah.
Nevea everywhere.
Then they spelled
You're
it
like,
out.
I'm actually gonna name my dog.
No, definitely not gonna have a Nevea. No shade.
That's what I'm always surprised because like my name's Micah, but like still like I've only like I subbed for high school for like 4 or 5 years. I only saw one kid with the name Micah. And I was like,
yeah, and it's like not.
It's a pretty good. I mean, it's a pretty good name, people. Come on,
Hey,
Micah.
you can have a Micah one day.
Yeah,
maybe,
and I
if
thought
that's
about that
what
too.
you want.
And I was like, I really like the name, but then I was like, but I've never been like a
having a junior.
Yeah, but maybe just Micah and no junior. You know what I mean? But then you know we're not gonna call him Micah. We're gonna be like
Mikey,
Mikey,
little Mikey, little
yeah,
Micah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
or just some random name. It's funny because like you'll name, or sometimes it's like people name their kids whatever, but then like everyone has a nickname for them that's like nothing to do with. It's like something they said. You know what I mean? When they were little or something like that. And so speaking of kids, how is it balancing mom and work life?
Well,
you're like, ask me that in a year and I don't know.
I definitely have had moments where I don't have balance, but I have a lot of help. So like my mother-in-law watches my son for me while I work, and they're super like, they can have him all hours. Like if I run late, they're totally like not rushing.
It's
like
not daycare, you know. It's not like
daycare, like shit, I have to get home. Like with them, it's like if I'm late, it's fine.
And you're not worrying about them being wherever, you know what I mean? He's only 2, right?
Yeah, he's only 2. Yeah. So, I definitely am not like all like worried of who's taking care of him. So that's a lot of help. And then just the salon, like the girls help me out when I need help. Like they know when I need it and they'll help me out. A husband comes through and helps me with stuff. It's like, it's a team, you know? It's definitely not just me finding balance. It definitely takes a little bit of all of us.
Yeah, no, and that's good. And I think people need to hear that too, because some people I think are like, super scared or whatever. But it's like, it's not going to be you alone. Like,
it's not. And I think, well, you're Aries, and I one thing I do know about us is we don't like asking for help. We like want to do everything on our own and like be more independent. And it's really hard to ask for help. And I've learned that I just have to ask for help.
Yeah. Like, no, I agree. And I mean, because whenever I got into photography, that's when I just like, I just want to learn, and I always tell people, ask me anything, because like like there's some people where it's like feels like maybe they don't want you to get better than them, or like weird type of like don't learn what I know, or I have clients that don't want you to, or something. I don't know what it is, something weird like that. But I'm always like anytime I see anybody doing a podcast in the area, I like it's like. For some reason I can never find anybody, but like they find me. But but every time I'm like, hey, like I love what you're doing, man. Like keep it up. Just because like there's not that many people who podcast in the area. It's like its own weird thing that like no one real.
I don't know how all this works.
I didn't either when I first started. Yeah, and like shout out to my sound guy Duffy. Anybody needs anything edited, Duffy Murphy's your guy. Duffy, exactly. But he helped me out the whole time, and we've just been slowly like figuring out what works, what doesn't work. And and then people are always like, hey, can you help me set up a podcast studio? I'm like, that's like, I was like, basically like 2 years of me, or a year of me figuring out everything. Like, I'm like, I'm just not going to do it. Like, I will do it if you want to like pay me. Yeah, exactly. But it's just like, I didn't go through all this just
like handed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, yeah, I don't know. But if anybody needs help, let me know.
Yeah, no, I in our industry too, everyone's always like threatened, or there's a lot of competition, a lot of people who are like that. I will say though, and nobody at my salon is that way. Yeah. Like we're definitely there to help each other.
Since the pandemic, I kind of feel like there's like almost like a new light with a lot of people.
Like a community.
Yeah, exactly. And like I was never like really big in the art community or anything like that, like prior to getting into photography, videography. But like there is like a good community, and even like especially in Merced, it's bigger than you would think it is. You know what I mean? And people, more often than not, people want to like help and they want to help support. And like I bought these hats and I started selling them because I'm really finally happy that I figured out a logo that's like
it's
Central
cool.
Valley. Yeah, exactly.
Palm of the Pine.
Palm of the Pine. Perfect. Exactly. And I bought 50 hats and I was like, man, like I'm spending like, over $500 on this. Like, is it even going to pan out? Blah, blah, blah. And and that was like 2 months ago, but I'm like sold out of them. Like, and I didn't try to push it. I wasn't like, hey, buy my hats to people. It was just, I posted them on my story a couple times and people just reached out. And so now I'm like, okay, well, like if I actually try to push.
Do it again.
Yeah, exactly. If I actually try to push stuff. And so I made shirts that say almond allergies and asthma, Central Valley, California. And dude,
people love
my allergies. My allergies have been acting up ever since I bought it. I was like, maybe this is
karma.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not bad. I'm always like, I'm not talking bad about the area. I'm just speaking what the area is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Almonds, allergies, and asthma. AA or AAA. We have major AA. Yeah, exactly. I think I was on a topic and then I got off a topic like my whole life. What was it? Oh, we're talking about balance, mom life, work life. Oh, and then we're talking about the business. So what was like, where do you see your business in like 5 years? Or is that hard for you to, as someone who does something in a field, like I'm always like, I don't know.
I mean, I feel like in this industry, it's forever evolving. Like we talked about earlier, and changing. I just want to have longevity and just like still be where we're at and more,
better, still, or just improving and always being,
little things. I definitely want to like tap back into some more like education, like maybe us doing classes and offering there,
that'd be
more
cool.
advanced ones. I think that'd be cool. I know like a lot of people reach out to a lot of us like for that, so I feel like that's like a whole other realm that like we just need to like get into.
Yeah, and then it doesn't feel like there's like not enough time in the day anymore to like you're like I want to do this, but like now,
like
but
social
I go
media,
home.
like mine's like on the back burner right now. Like I mean, I feel like they make it look so easy to make all these reels and like stay relevant online, but it's a whole job.
It's hard. It's so hard.
It really is. And I try to be really present like with all my clients too. And so when you're doing that, you're not, because you're literally like, hold on, stop talking, let me get this clip.
Some
and
people,
hold on, stop talking,
and it's funny,
do this.
I've been with people like, cause like what it's like me and Jimmy do the videography at the weddings, and there's always like a photographer, and the girls are always pretty good about, or like a lot of them are like, cause it's like I've been with photographers for a while. Like Megan was always like, oh, I need to do better like behind the scenes stuff. And then like the more I worked with her, the more she was doing like behind the scenes stuff. And that's how we actually linked
Megan,
up.
Like
Shout out
Megan has evolved too.
MT Photo, by the way.
Megan,
yeah, Megan.
her.
She's like, I was like, Megan, I'm trying to get some girls on the podcast. Who should I get on?
Yeah.
She was like, Lili.
Oh,
and I was like, and I was like, okay. I was like, I'll reach out to her.
She's done all my photos. Engagement, wedding, baby.
She's so good.
All of it.
She's so good.
And
it's
she's
ridiculous.
just like grown and evolved. And that's like what I'm saying. Like, things are just forever changing. And she's like a perfect example of someone who just like got into it and like stayed true to like what she wants to do. She has now traveled herself.
She's been doing it like 10 years.
Said,
you know
I
what I mean?
want to go and do traveling shoots. And like
now
she told me years ago about Iceland. She freaking booked that.
Dude,
shit.
I know.
She went to Iceland and took her photos. And I'm just like, yes.
I know,
I love that.
And then she was like, went to like England or something.
Oh yeah, like 2-day trips and stuff. I'm like,
I was
what?
like, I was literally like Megan. I was like, I'm mad.
Don't have kids, Micah. If you want to go to England for 2 days, don't do it.
I was like almost mad for her. Like, Megan, you should be there longer. I was like, but I know she's booked like she's freaking booked out, and she's probably the reason that I'm staying busy and stuff.
Adrian, her boyfriend, they're like that. They're like totally spontaneous. Like I could see them doing just like, we'll just go like in a month for another 2 days, you know?
Yeah,
like,
it's like, well, we had 2 days here. I'd be like, if I had 2 days, I'd be like, I don't even want to go to like Monterey. Like, like then I'm gonna be exhausted from that 2-hour drive. You know what I
mean? Oh my God, we're old.
No, exactly. And me and my wife used to be super spontaneous when we first got together, and like we were like more and more. My wife was like, "Is it over?" Like, I saw her like, and I was like, "No, we need to do something."
Yeah.
And like my April was crazy. It's like 4 weddings, and so in May.
And then editing, like no one sees all.
Dude, nobody gets it. Everyone's like, oh, like
can I have pictures tomorrow?
I'm paying for exactly, or like I'm paying for your time as like when I'm there, and like with video, I would say photography and video, it's like it's different. So it's like photography. I feel like at a wedding, you're like 70% done after the wedding because you have a bigger role. You're organizing people to get together and stuff like that.
Yes.
That's 70% of the work, and then 30% is editing. Where video, it's like maybe 50-50, or I feel like It's like we're doing 40% of the work there, and then I'm gonna go edit it for 40 hours.
Yeah.
Just because you guys don't get that. Like editing to me is the bigger process. It's like
it's
you're
a
paying more
lot.
for that than for this. You know what I mean?
I even knew like Megan for our wedding, like I think they're like the only like good photo, like the kids like were not cooperating. So
Yeah.
she literally was like editing their faces to be like facing the camera. And I was just like, you didn't have to do all that. Like I know kids like are not gonna pay attention.
Yeah, I think it's
but,
okay.
Like, she got some really good ones. Like only like one of them was like not paying attention, but
Yeah,
it's
you're like,
a
it's
lot.
okay. Yeah, exactly. It is. So, Megan, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for setting this up, Megan. And what is something that's been like super rewarding about being a business owner? So I'm sure like, you had your parts where you're like, what is going on?
Yeah, a lot of
like,
stress, a
Yeah,
lot of tears.
exactly. To then being like, maybe I should expand it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So looking back, like what's rewarding?
Honestly, seeing the girls that work for me just like flourish. Like I feel like I was kind of just like at a standstill, like renting, not taking new clients, just doing my own thing. Like I said, it was just all on my own, like whatever I wanted to do. And then I, was always referring like people that I couldn't get into these other stylists. And so now like to be able to like refer them like within my salon, like people are literally coming like because it's like the salon. And and it's not just me. Like I said, it's a team. Like all these girls like built it up to what it's been.
Yeah, and then so now other people are coming in there, and it's like, oh, I don't take any new clients, but you're helping build all these other girls' clientele.
Yeah, and just seeing them, like there's a few that came with like not clientele. They had whatever they had, but now they're like booked for months. And like to know that like I kind of had a little play in that, definitely they did all the work,
but you're saying like without the salon, it's not like it would have happened, what
I mean, yeah, it could have, but it might have taken longer, what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But it's not giving them any not credit, but it's just the fact that like the salon has brought people together.
It has, it really has.
I mean, it's the pop and spot.
And I want to say like we kind of put Bear Creek Galleria back on the map too.
No, I think
it was kind of like fizzling out. But now
I'm sure people are going to was it Joe on the Go coffee?
Joe on the Go, yeah, like because I go sometimes on Mondays and I'm like, wow, they're kind of slow. And then I go on like Tuesdays and Wednesdays and we're all there and I'm like, they are like popping.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's for sure.
So
is there anything else? Any other beauty stuff in that area?
There is. So like behind us, there's like that mall area. I don't know if you've ever even known that there's a whole indoor.
Oh no! So I have only because I went to Joe and the Go, and then I was like, I have to go to the bathroom. And
yeah,
like,
so
where?
that's our bathroom.
And then I went over there, and I was like, what the heck is this?
Like, so there's like private, like two private like studio type places. So there's like a girl who does hair in there, and it's just like her salon.
Oh yeah, so but it's just her, right?
Just her.
So that's kind of like a different route you could go to
and that's cool
if you wanted to. Yeah,
especially
exactly.
during pandemic, she actually left like a salon and did that, and like that was cool because she could keep working, and she was just one-on-one.
Yeah,
like,
it was already all the regulations and rules and everything were already like, it's okay, it's only just us here.
Yeah,
that's how it's always been for.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
So yes, she like had it pretty much made. Like me, I'm like on Front Street on G Street.
And then what else is over there?
So then outside we have like the pizza place. We have Aloha Floral. There's like
the China Caf.
China Cafe. There's a barbershop there now. Stash.
Okay,
Brothers.
Yeah, it's on the corner or on the edge of it.
It's like
on the side of it.
Yeah, kind of like next to the China Cafe.
Yeah, right on the
And then Kevin's Bikes. Kevin's Bikes is super busy.
So, really? So that's where they moved. I didn't realize because I remember they were over by Save Mart forever.
Yes, forever.
Forever.
So they're like right by Joe on the Go now.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
there's like is it a law place or like a realty place or something like that?
Yeah, the real estate. Yes, Soldavi Realty. What else do we have? There's like some empty the jewelry place is like leaving, so everything's kind of changing right now on that end. But yeah, and then there's like another barbershop, and then inside the mall area there's those two private rooms and a whole other salon.
Oh,
that's
really?
Been there forever.
But, I never know.
So they're literally like you go out our back door and there's like another salon.
Oh, really? That's funny. But you guys are, but they're only in the mall.
So they have like a back
hallway.
entrance. And they've been there for like years. So like they have like their set.
Yeah. It wasn't like you were coming in.
No, they're not taking walking.
Yeah,
they're sending them actually our way.
Yeah. Actually, I'm pretty positive that's where my mom goes because she's going to go to the same hair lady like for all of our lives or all of my life. It was like the lady who used to cut my hair. But, I think it's over there.
Probably. Yeah. I think we all went there like as a kid. All of our moms probably went there.
You know where I used to go? It was so you know where what's it called? Ravello's is now. where Tony's Courtyard or Tony's Cafe is.
Yeah.
So like between that, there's like the alleyway, and then there's this building right in the middle. And I used to get my hair done there when it's just like an abandoned building now.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but yeah, I never went there.
No, I don't know. I just remember that.
Yeah.
I went there as a kid.
Yeah. I love those little like downtown hidden little pockets.
Oh yeah. There's dude, and the cool thing, I had this guy named Scott Patrick on the podcast. He's like a singer and stuff, but he was saying like the Central Valley is just like there's so many hole in the wall places. You know what I mean? Like, and there will forever. I mean, I think there will forever be. Yeah, it's growing and growing and growing, but there's like so many like places, like just nooks and crannies that you would never know.
Yeah, my cousin lives in the Bay Area. Actually, she just sent me like a reel. Someone she knew actually like came out here and created a whole reel about Merced. Like she came here to eat.
Oh,
and
really?
like all the comments on there, and I was just like watching, and I was like, wow, like we do have like some pretty. She went to like the Papaya Lady. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
I have heard of her.
Yeah,
but I don't know
she's like legendary.
Yeah.
But yeah. So now
Lady.
it's like I think her daughter kind of like made it all cool now. So yeah, she came all the way from the Bay Area and had the Papaya Lady.
That's
and then like
cool.
ate at the lake and made the lake look so pretty.
So nice and everything. And then downtown.
It is nice that we have that though.
It is. And you can actually go paddleboarding out there. I don't know if you know this. I went out there like I think it was before the pandemic, so maybe 2019. But my wife was like, we should go paddleboarding at the lake. I was like, you can do that? And she was like, yeah. And then I go out there and like, if you ever gone to like I was imagining like Yosemite was going to be like Lake McClure and Lake Don Pedro. What I mean by that is that those lakes are like lukewarm. They're like hot. Like it's like super hot. And I think the story that lives on in everyone's mind is that they found a dead cow out there at some point.
In ours?
In our lake, like a long time
all kinds
ago.
Of dead things
yeah, exactly. Recently. Yeah. Well, just kidding. Anyways.
Scary talk and whatnot.
Yeah, the Witch's Tower. The Witch's Tower, you guys. I guess stuff's happening, man. Bad juju. Yeah, exactly. No, but the lake's actually really cold. And I was expecting it to be like lukewarm with like all the other lakes. But the other lakes are like huge and everything's man-made. All those lakes are man-made. But like if you go in like Lake McClure, Lake Don Pedro, it is literally like bathwater. It's like almost disgusting. I mean, it doesn't matter.
I think I like
Yeah, and it's like it's like if the ocean was like that, you'd be like, oh, cool, like warm water. You know what I mean? It's clear. Or whatever.
where it makes sense, like when you go to Cancun and it's warm.
Yeah,
cool,
exactly. Exactly. But I went to when we went to Lake Yosemite, it was like cold, and I was like, oh man, like I'm not ready for this. It's too cold in here. It's like middle of summer. I'm like, it's too cold out here, you guys.
Yeah, I don't get in that water.
Yeah, and then it's cool because now like downtown, like just like Merced has a lot of character compared to other places.
It does, and it's growing.
Yeah, and like I lived in Turlock for a while, worked in Modesto for a while, and those Modesto's places to eat, fucking great places to eat. There's a place called
Turlock too.
Honestly, both of them, and that's what I like too is that now Merced has like places like that now.
Yeah.
And because before it was like everyone would always leave Merced and go to like Turlock to go eat, go to Modesto to eat. But now it's funny because I'll talk to people who I used to like talk to in Turlock and Modesto, and they're like, oh no, I've come to Merced, tried Manger or tried El Cap, or you know what I mean. But it's cool because it's like now like we're all sharing, you guys.
Yeah, we're going back and forth. Yep.
Yeah, exactly,
cool.
exactly. But Merced's architecture is really cool. Like the tower is really cool. The El Capitan, the cool fact that they kept El Cap and Tioga, like looking historic, is really cool to me because they could have just been like, no, we're gonna put a Hampton.
That they kept Tioga like that. I do wish that they would have kept Cinema Cafe. I'm still pretty sad about that.
No, yeah, I am too. Yeah, it is
cool.
They're like, but we had somebody who wanted to redo everything and pay for all of it, so like,
kind of.
But yeah, I still wish. I'm like, Cinema, you guys could have found rent somewhere else. Like, just come on.
They're probably done.
They're probably just like, and it's probably like they're like, oh, it's time. And it was probably during, it was basically a pandemic year.
Yeah.
It was honestly, in hindsight, they're probably like, that was the perfect time to like call it an end of it and call it quits. No, that's really funny. And then so being a boss, what's that like? I mean, you're a boss, but you're not a boss. You're an owner.
Yeah, I love it because like I'm not. I don't have, you know what I mean?
Not.
Yeah. Like everyone, all my girls pay me rent, so they're essentially their own bosses. So I don't have to go in and,
So it's more of an owner, like owner.
Yeah,
you're the owner of the business.
Even one of the girls was like, yeah, I always tell my clients like that you're the owner, and they're like, they look and they're like, Oh, she is? Because like they're surprised that like I'm working, you know, and I'm just
they
like
thought it was just me breaking the money and
yeah,
then
I'm just like a normal girl just like doing my work, but like I own the place.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. I like it. It definitely does come with, you know, like a lot of extra worries and all that, but responsibilities.
So like what insurances and stuff do you have to get? Just
we have to get a lot, you know, like liabilities, you know, because anything can happen. Burn down, lawsuits, all
or
that.
Somebody forgets something in the hair or whatever it is. Yeah. So it's basically saving your ass. It's insurance to save your asses if something
it's worth it.
Everything else.
You never know.
Yeah, I've been looking to get camera insurance, and I know that's a portion of it, but that's not even why I want to get it. Because like generally, it's like luckily I've had great clients, and I still continue to have great clients, and I have never been screwed over or anything like that. So I'm forever grateful for that. I know I need to get it for the chance that someone's grandma trips over my tripod at a wedding and then blames me or something like that.
Yep.
But I want to get it just for my camera gear. I just need to get my stuff insured.
Well, yeah, because like, what if it breaks right before like a wedding?
That or like, what if I lose it? Or because there's insurances that if you lose it or if it gets stolen, it'll give you like up to like $15,000 and or whatever. And at least that's like.
See, I could never be like a wedding photographer because I would just think like, what if I lose the USB? What if I lose all their photos?
Dude, yeah, Megan. It's funny because Megan's approach to it is like so much different than mine. She has like a case of like a Pelican case basically for all the little cards, and like, but she will not like delete. Like she will like.
She'll still send me my wedding album if I text her today. Like she's so organized.
But she still has that card.
I don't even have them, and you have.
She
them.
has that card. Like so, she'll have like shoot off someone's wedding all on one card, right? And then she'll like put it on her drive or her computer and have it on there too. But then she keeps the card with all the stuff as like a backup. Which don't get me wrong, that's so smart. But like what
you're like
what I do is yeah, which is like probably bad. Like I know I should back it up, but it's like I'm only working on stuff for like a month max, or you know what I mean. Our wedding films like 2-3 months max.
Yeah.
And then it is. So what I do is like I get that card. I have 4 cards basically. So I get that card, upload it to my computer, and once it's on my hard drive,
clear it.
Then I format that card, delete everything, and like hope
I
to
would
God.
think. I mean, yeah.
No, but and I would think that there's more errors, but I'm also like technology's come so far that if I'm editing all this stuff, then.
It has, but I don't know. I never trust technology.
Yeah, exactly. when I talk it out and say it sounds like I should have a backup.
Like, maybe we should get you some storage for your cards.
The only thing is storage is. I don't mind spending money in the craft now because I'm making a good amount of money from it, so I feel a little like more relaxed on spending. It's just like, okay, you know it's gonna come next month, or I always look at it like if I'm doing like a real estate shoot, I'm getting paid like blank amount. If I just use that money, reinvest it in myself, it's like I did that job for that, like to myself as like you know you have to like trick yourself into be like, well, that makes sense if I do that.
That's like me if I'm buying like an expensive, like I'm splurging on a product, I'm like, okay, well this is like one color, like okay, so I'm doing that one person, but it's paying for this. It's gonna pay for like 8 more.
Yeah, okay, exactly.
We'll
exactly.
But then you're like, wait, that's a whole client. I'm not gonna make any money.
Yeah. It's like you have to realize how long it's gonna go and stuff like that. That's funny.
I think of everything in those terms.
No, yeah, and I think when you do stuff for yourself, that's the way you do it, because it's just like you're like, it's hard to be business minded when. I mean, being a bit like, I don't know, it's like, because even like for all you and all the girls who are rented spaces, it's like basically they're doing their own business, you know what I mean? In a way, like you're worrying about your own taxes, your own everything else.
Yes.
And that's like a freaking.
I just did.
What do you do? QuickBooks or something? How do you stay organized? You don't? It's like me, man.
You sound like my accountant. Like, did you get your QuickBooks going this year yet? Did you get your QuickBooks going? I just say my receipts and just like at the end of the year panic and go through all of it and make sure I'm organized.
Okay, so but all your receipts for all your products that you buy and stuff like that?
Everything.
And then, but do your clients get receipts too? Or you do Venmo and stuff like that?
I try to like stay away from like anything that they can't get like a receipt for. Because a lot of them do need it too.
Yeah.
But I have to save all that, report everything that's coming in.
Do you do I don't know, business account on Venmo?
I haven't yet.
Oh, I just started it. I know they take away money.
They do.
Yeah. I'm just like, I think it's that I don't have to pay taxes in the future.
It's basically because they realize that businesses are using it. And
exactly.
Like they're not getting a cut, so they're gonna get a cut now.
Yeah.
Plus they're gonna send you a tax form.
Yeah, and that's the reason I did it. And that's the reason I did it was just like I want to stay a little more organized. And I was
legit,
like, and it's not bad. Honestly, it's like. I think if it's like $500, they're taking $5-6, which I know that's it can everything can add
it adds up.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it can. But at the end of the day, I'm also like, yeah, but I'd rather.
You can kind of offset and charge $5 extra if they want to Venmo you. You know
That's
what I mean?
true.
But
Oh yeah, processing fees, like all
come
the
on.
all the
Everyone's
gas
got
stations. They're
processing.
like,
I was actually watching a video on like some scam about those
what I gotta do.
restaurant like the things that restaurants like where you pay at the table. They're like upcharging. They're charging you like 60% taxes. Like it's insane. I don't know. I'll send
Yeah.
you the reel later.
No,
but
that-
that's a whole other like thing. That's
okay. What that
shady
reminds me
business.
of is speaking about shitty McDonald's earlier.
Uh-huh.
I went to McDonald's the other day, and me and Jimmy stopped there on our way to a wedding, and I was like, oh, let's just go in. I gotta go to the bathroom. We ordered one of those things that's like the stand things. So we waited in line. We're next, and they're like, oh, you can order one of those things, and we're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll order one of those. We order, and then it prints me out a receipt that I have to go and pay for up front. And I'm like, this just seems so counterintuitive.
Yeah.
So then I go up front and I pay for it, and then I'm waiting, and it's like 10 minutes. I'm like, that's kind of long for McDonald's. And then it's like 15.
for food they're not cooking.
From food they're pulling out of like a
Heated
plastic. It's
drawer.
like a plastic drawer.
It is.
That with
Looks
water.
super,
I was like, and actually, I was like standing there waiting, and that's what I was looking at. And I'm like, man, this is just disgusting that I'm putting in my
Yeah,
body.
it's
But
not.
yeah, and then I like then 15 minutes in, I was like, maybe I'm just gonna ask. And I was like, hey, like, did you ever get? No, it wasn't 15. It was like 22 minutes in. And I was like, and I should have known at that point. But I was like,
there's something
hey,
not right.
did you like get this? And they're like, hold on. And they're like, yeah, it's coming right out. And like they just put it together all right then.
Yeah.
Because I saw like people who were after me were complaining that they hadn't got their food like to them and stuff like that. And then they got their food, and I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, there's like that's why like they're trying to replace us with
Yeah.
robots, you know, but
freaking
it's not working out.
Go ahead, do it for McDonald's though. I'm okay with that. I think that the workers need to have
They need a little break.
yeah, need a little break, a little no emotion. You know what I mean? Freaking A. But so I'm trying to think. Where do so people can find you in the Bear Creek Plaza?
Galleria, yeah.
Sorry. Was
Come
Bear
on.
Creek Plaza somewhere else?
No.
That's probably what I've been calling it all my life. Bear Creek Plaza, you guys. But so Bear Creek Galleria, you're open Tuesday, Saturday?
Yeah, typically, yeah. Some Mondays.
Does
but
some
Tuesdays and
girl? Does it
Saturdays.
just depend if some
Yeah, we
girls
all
want
do
to
like
work?
our own hours. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Usually like Sundays are like closed days.
Mhm.
So that way if I have to go in and do stuff, then I can get it done.
You
on
can
the
just get
Sunday.
it done.
Yeah.
Do you have an office space at all?
I don't.
You should get one. You should
I
get one.
need a house with an office.
Okay, that's next on the list.
It is. We're working on
Yeah,
it.
well, you're working on the house, on the family, on the business, on
it all.
Yeah, exactly. And there's never enough time in the day.
No, there's not.
Okay, gotcha. So I want to say thank you for coming.
Oh, thank
I
you for
really, really
having
appreciate it. I had a great this conversation was
I
awesome.
know.
I just flew by. I looked down, it was like 45 minutes, and I was like,
Okay.
I thought, well, and I was like, what am I going to talk to you about with a girl? Like, what am I going to talk
Yeah,
to? You know
no,
what I
I
mean?
was stressed. I was stressed like all the time that we've been going back and forth with booking this. I was just like,
You're like, maybe I should just cancel on him right now.
yeah. Seriously.
Exactly.
Ran through my mind. No, I'm just kidding.
No, exactly. So, your Instagram is what?
Lily does hair.
Lily
Lili does hair.
Lili, and is that how the flower lily is spelled? Or no?
No.
Is it IE?
I think it's IE.
Okay.
So I'm Liliana, and
Okay,
so
gotcha.
my
That-
mom just
you're
did
shortening it like
Lili.
that.
Yeah, she's like, we don't got to switch it
Gotcha.
to Y. Yeah.
And then, so is your salon's name just Haven? I mean, just
Haven
Haven
Hair and Beauty.
Haven Hair. Dude, that's really good. Haven
Flows,
Hair and
right?
Beauty.
I know.
Haven Hair and Beauty. I like
See?
that.
That's like that was us sitting there. We were both like, my husband did like my first little like logo for me, and we were like, Haven Hair and Beauty. Thank you for calling.
And where's
Haven
your
Hair and
husband's
Beauty.
shop at?
His shop is Blend's Barbershop. So
Oh,
it's,
is it on Main Street? Or no?
Rayleigh's.
Oh,
Shop
okay.
Center
No,
over
that's
there.
what it is. Oh,
Yeah.
it's over there.
So he has been Main Street,
He-
but Blends has always been like if you're eating at
There's like Blends, Edge, like
I know,
headquarters.
know.
Like they're all like. I was like
no more barbershops, no more tire shops,
I know.
no more
Oh,
Starbucks.
Gosh. Well, yeah, I know. But hey, what Starbucks is doing is they're slowly making all their cafes drive-throughs. So I'm a fan of that.
Yeah, the
Yosemite
Promenade
ones-
ones, yeah, it had to go.
Promenades,
I'm
yeah.
sad to see it go because it came like I think when I was in like junior
Dude,
high.
it's been there forever since I was a
Yeah.
kid. Yeah, since I was a kid.
I remember like
my.
my best friend lived like right there, and so we'd walk and we just like watch the progress.
They just need more parking. That's all they need over
yeah.
there.
I think Starbucks leaving will probably be good for them. I mean,
It-
depends what goes in there, but
Yeah. Probably another cafe.
but they're all popping. Like Thai cuisine too, fire.
Thai cuisine too is
All
fucking
the restaurants.
bomb.
I know. We just had it the other day. We had it to go, and I will say to go was like even better.
No, yeah. It's because it's like
What?
it's like you're getting.
What is it?
You're getting the
I feel
restaurant
like they give me
quality, but
more.
at home. Well, Asian places for sure give you more.
Yeah.
They for sure give you more to go because they're like I'm gonna fill up this whole thing like entirely.
Yeah.
Like, and speaking of, I've been trying to get Thai food.
Oh my gosh, I'm so hungry now. It sounds so
No,
good.
I know exactly. I was like, I love Thai food so much. There's so many good places in Merced. But sorry, I got so
I
off
feel
topic.
like Thai food, like our like Vietnamese and like Lao and
Dude.
Thai people they get down.
Dude, they get down. And let me tell you, as someone
Yeah.
who lived in Turlock and went to Modesto all the time, there's something about Merced Thai food that's like, it just hits. Like, I love
does.
Bangkok. I love Sam's Cafe.
I've had it in other places.
You
and
had
I'm
other
like, oh,
people? I'm
I've
just
had
kidding.
other people. No. I've had it in other places, and no, it's not it.
Yeah, dude.
not
Yeah,
it.
exactly. So, yeah, dude. It just hits. It's so good. And then, like, when I was in, like, Turlock, there was only like one pho place, but there was this Korean barbecue place.
Ooh,
And
we need that.
We do need Korean barbecue.
Yeah,
It's
we do.
it was so good. And the man who worked there just made the place even better just because like he was just like old Asian man and like he just was like so happy. And so he did this thing like when you go, I'm like, oh, we called in an order to go, and he had it in the back, he had the bags on the side of it, and so he had the both of them. And he was like, "Oh," and he would go like this, put it in front of you, open it up, show it to you,
Oh,
and then like open up the
stop.
other one, show it to you, and then like he had like a specific way where he like flips out the bag and he's like, and then like and then he ties it and he goes like, shh.
Like, I don't
And,
even
like,
care
pass
if the
it down,
food's bad.
and,
I'm
like,
coming back for you, sir.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, man, this guy like literally just makes me want to freaking like. I was like, I just want to come here to watch you, and he's so happy giving it to you that you're just like,
Yeah,
you know what I
the
mean?
joy that they like have, just
Exactly. And I mean, I think that's something that sticks out about you. You're happy about your business. You're happy to be there. And I think that that's really what stands out from other places. And that's what like, because your place kind of seems like it's it right now. You know what I mean? I mean, in the area. Yeah, what can I say, huh?
What can I say?
No, but it's because people are happy there. And people like
Yeah.
genuine people. People like human interactions. People like seeing people be who they are.
And
So
I love hearing it. Like when people come in, they're just like, I love the vibe. Like everyone just seems so nice. Like all your girls are so cool. And I'm just like, yes, that's all I wanted.
Mhm, yeah.
Everyone to just like be happy to be there, and everybody feels it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you noticing that.
Yeah,
guy being
I
happy.
just
Like,
noticed
just feel
and it's just little things too. I mean, in the sense of like, or how social. I mean, I was at the end of this podcast, whatever. How is social media
No,
like?
45 minutes.
I know. How is social media like kind of affected? Like, have you seen a swing growth from there? Like people finding you guys and stuff.
Yeah, social media. I don't pay for advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
Other than I paid for like merch, and but other than that,
Did you sell your merch in the store?
I did, yeah. And like you said, it was scary, like investing the money. But I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? Even if I just like break even and everybody's wearing my stuff and like promoting me, cool. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing you have to remind yourself at too, because you're like, if I didn't
Putting your
lose
name
any
up.
money,
It's
then
conversation,
whatever.
like, 'cause they'll
Yeah.
be like, oh, where'd you get that hat? Oh,
Exactly.
okay, this podcast.
We gotta switch. I don't
yeah,
have
I
any.
should have brought you one. I'll bring you one.
Okay. I'm ordering more hats. So when that,
Okay,
and then
we'll do
there
the
we
hat
go.
swap.
There we go. And guys, everyone's gonna be like, you're wearing a Haven one. I'm like, yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
The local man, gotta represent.
My girl goes there.
Yeah, exactly.
She can borrow it too.
No, but
Unisex.
it's not bad. Like it's not like a
I try
feminine
not
style.
to be too girly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean the rose gold kind of like takes it
Yeah,
there.
but no, it's
I
just
mean,
gold.
it's
Gold
so
and
cool.
black's kind of cool. I went to Buhack growing up, so I went to gold
there
and
you
black. Yeah. My alma mater. Oh, Buhack.
Better than our orange and black for the Merced
It's
Bears.
just Halloween 24/7 over
Or
there.
Giants,
Oh yeah, or Giants.
Yeah.
I went straight to Halloween. Giants is definitely the
little
more.
better.
Yeah. People aren't wearing freaking like a cracker or a jack-o'-lantern like on their hats. No, that's funny. And so social media's been good though for you guys.
Social media's been awesome. Yeah. So
Well, and even having like Megan at your grand opening, just little things like that. like-
Megan came through that day. That was so awesome. And like just a lot of community. Like El Sope, the taco truck, we grew up with him, Luis, that opens that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Elsa, she does hair, his wife.
Mhm.
So like they came out and I feel like their taco truck was like promoted.
So you made it like a
We had
little cool
tacos.
event.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
The mayor came. Mayor,
Yeah,
yes.
Matt
Everyone,
Serrato.
everyone like messaged the mayor. I got on my Facebook, messaged him personally. He was
Because they want to
there.
be at places where there's new stuff happening.
Yeah, and they all came like Sarah Boyle,
Sarah's
who does
so cool too.
yeah, all
I've
the
been
Merced
Sarah.
stuff.
I'm gonna get you on the podcast. I'm sorry, it's
Oh,
been
yeah.
so long. Me and her have been back and forth.
I love following
And then
her
I'm like, hey,
whole
you come this
page.
week, and I'm just like, I'm all over the place, like,
Yeah.
because we're booked out for like a good amount now, which is like,
Oh, good,
so,
yeah.
it's so crazy. It's so like, it's wild to me that the podcast is what it is. Also, it's like, my
Yeah.
podcast is like Real Talk and Whatnot, Central Valley Podcast. It's like a hella long name, but my whole thing was like, I changed my Instagram to Central Valley Podcast because I was like, I started running ads for the first time, and it's basically just because in my area, it's like you either know that there's this or that you don't know, or that you're never gonna find out, basically. Yeah. And there's so many people in the Central Valley, and it's so hard to get out there that I
pass us on the freeway.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why I started doing have this like one ad that I've been running, and I don't know. It blew my mind because I was like, oh, I guess like marketing and ads work. Like I gained over like almost 2,000 followers just from that, and I was like, what the hell? Like that's wild to me. But fuck, where's it going with this? I'm so sorry.
Just Central Valley Podcast.
Central Valley Podcast, and how I came up with that. And so then I was like, I changed my name because when I was running the ad, it was like under Micah Daly, and I'm sure everyone's like, "What is this? This is just
dude."
Yeah, it's just like, and I they can get it. But with Central Valley Podcast, I feel like it's like, oh, people are more inclined to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna check out what
I like the name.
What the Central Valley Podcast is." And I've had exactly, and I've had thoughts about changing it just to to a Central Valley Podcast. You know what I mean? Just because it's a little more to the point of like what it is. Yeah. But real talk, I don't know.
I like Real Talk. I like them both. I almost feel like they could almost be like two separate segments. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like Real Talk and Whatnot's like when you have like the homies on there, and then like
that's true. Yeah, and then Central Valley Podcast when I have people.
Like, when you have
dude, there we
Valley
go.
businesses.
I like that. Spitballing back and forth, different business ideas. There we go. Okay. So you're at Lili Does Hair.
Yes.
Lili.
And the salon is at Haven the Salon.
Haven the Salon. Lili Does Hair. Haven the Salon. Straight to the point on both of those.
Yep.
Bear Creek Galleria.
Yes.
And you can also support her husband at
Alex Blends.
With two S's. There we go. Well, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you coming on. This was a blast. Yeah, we'll have to run it back. All righty.
Now you could be more comfortable talking to other beauty professionals.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I know what the foil is for.
Up
okay.
Next, esthetician.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
This is it. Real talk. Whatnot.
Real talk. That's it. Real